It's the Rob from 106.1 Kiss FM. Here with my tag team partner in podcasting. Let's welcome back to the show the amazing, the wonderful, the Sandman, Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Good morning. I feel much better than yesterday. I want to apologize for my saltiness. I feel like I was irritable and salty yesterday. My ear was falling off. I was hiding from you. A double ear infection. I had to go to the doctor immediately following and get killers and all that jazz. And so I was kind of miserable yesterday, but I'll be in better mood because today I'm kind of high on the painkiller.
Oh, really?
I took a couple.
How was the show this morning? Great.
I waited until I was near the end of that because I just kind of suffered through that, and then I figured the rest of the day I need to feel good.
Post-surgery, when I had my back surgery, I was doing shows on all sorts of stuff. And
it's interesting. For me, it's just Tylenol with codeine, and I took a couple, and so I'm not high, but I'm riding a wave of feel-goods. Like there's a wave of feel-good, and I'm riding it.
Okay. No, I understand completely. I also can understand. I can relate certainly to. I had, let's see, this was January 2014. One of the worst fungal infections of the ear two of my doctors had ever seen. And
you showed me pictures of this. That's insanity.
Yeah, and I don't even think that picture's that good. I think I have better ones on my phone, but yeah, that was nuts. So, dude, I understand. I remember doing shows like you with the one ear off the headphones. And I appreciate you making it this morning, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. I do have a bone to pick with you. I want you to start being nicer to my best friend.
Who's this?
You, stupid. I want you to be nicer to you. Your post yesterday about which version of Rob is uglier, 9th grade or 10th grade. You need to be nice to yourself. You weren't ugly. Listen.
I certainly was.
You weren't. Your haircut was unfortunate. Okay,
I feel like my haircut was 90s.
It was unfortunate, but you weren't ugly. You weren't unattractive. I mean, it was a rough year for everybody. It was a rough year.
The guy who called me unattractive Rob on the radio for what, 3 years?
That's good radio. That's a radio nickname.
Well, typically attractive people don't get called unattractive, Rob. But listen, that ship had sailed long before you, Chris, and Jim got a hold of me.
Right. I see why 9th and 10th grade. And for those that don't know what we're talking about, you put it on the KISS website. I mean, they can go and look at the documentation from 9th and 10th grade.
Well, you can look at, if you click the link in that blog, I'll take you to every single one of my back to school pictures from K through 12.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah, but they're not. I mean, I wasn't an attractive guy. I mean, look, I'll be nice and say today's not the best example, but I look better today than I did then. And asking which picture is uglier. I mean, like, I don't know, even Giselle Bundchen, if you give two photos, you can say one's uglier. You know?
I guess ugly is a very harsh word, and I would never use that word to describe you. So I want you to be nicer to my friend.
Well, kids all throughout my life have used that word to describe me, including you. Don't act like you haven't. And it's not a big deal, but I appreciate you offering that this morning.
I feel much like you think you look better now than you used to. I feel like I am nicer now than I used to be. I feel like I'm a better person than I ever was.
You have certainly evolved since I was unattractive, Rob.
I'm still a terrible person, but I'm better than I was.
Love to know, by the way, if anyone out there is already in. I know this is kind of when the audience is building. After yesterday, I'm so nervous that we're going to have some sort of technical difficulties. If anyone wants to either text me or Facebook message me saying it's good or it's echoing or whatever, I changed computers today. Hopefully that will help something. We'll see how it goes. And
yeah,
also,
I had a bad echo yesterday, and it was remedied once I cut the video feed. So hopefully we can get around that today without having to do that.
I also want to let everyone know, I don't know if we have a third episode this week or not. I'm hoping we do, because I'm supposed to let everyone know. In fact, I was actually mandated by management to let people know on the next episode there will be a major announcement regarding the future of Post to Post.
Really? Does
Correct.
this affect me in any way?
A little bit. A little bit it does. It affects everyone who watches this show regularly.
Okay.
And it'll be good. It'll be fine. Let's just
if I get canned, I'm going down. I'm driving to Evansville with a Molotov cocktail in the car.
Well, I still encourage you to do that, but you're not getting canned.
Okay, good.
But there will be on the next episode of Post to Post a major announcement about Post to Post. So,
and this isn't a work. I shoot, don't know.
Well, just so you know,
about.
I called you yesterday to tell you, but 15% chance with Jerry. If you call Jerry, whether you're the Rob or you're Bruce Pritchard, there's about a 15% chance he's going to answer the phone under any circumstances. So
I feel like that's being so generous too. I feel like it's less than 15%.
Oh, I feel like someone who's not the Rob or Bruce Pritchard has like probably less than 15.
Yeah, 0.
Yeah, you don't answer the phone so much, but yeah, I'll let you know before tomorrow or whatever. If we can think of a theme episode, it'd be a good time to do that. So yeah, I wanted to let everyone know there will be a major announcement regarding the future of Post to Post on the next episode. Sound good?
Sounds wonderful. Excited.
Oh, hold on a second. I got an update on how we sound. Let me check it out here.
Christ.
Oh, we're good. Look at that.
Hey, thumbs up.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, Steve.
I watched SmackDown last night.
So did I.
And boy, it was tough.
Yeah. I think I'm going to surprise you when I say this, but I think that I still give SmackDown the win this week over Raw.
Oh,
but that's more of an indictment on how bad I thought Raw was than how good I think SmackDown is.
No, I thought Raw had some interesting choices as far as booking decisions. I think that like I didn't expect some of the stuff I saw on Raw. SmackDown was just so nothing. Here's the problem with SmackDown right now, in my opinion. The problem with SmackDown is that there's really one storyline happening, and that storyline is not interesting. It's not working for me. I don't exactly know what the payoff is going to be, although I have a new theory as of last night.
And it's wildly inconsistent. I mean, I'll point it out again, and I understand that we both liked an era of wrestling where the lines were blurred, and it wasn't necessarily good guys versus bad guys. But it just makes no sense to have the heel stuff working for the faces and then Daniel Bryan helping all the bad guys, and who's I don't know who's what anymore. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, and can you listen? I was trying my hardest to pay attention and do wedding stuff yesterday with Brittany, but what can you describe to me what happened with Shane and Daniel last night?
Kind of. I think that Corey Graves summed it up perfectly at the end of the main event when Shane McMahon came out the second time to say, now this is a no disqualification. Corey Graves said, this is hot garbage. And I know he was talking about the constant changing of the main event and, you know, Shane again, doing heel stuff for the face team. But he called it hot garbage, and that's kind of what it was. So Shane.
That's a great way to sum it up. Shane McMahon was doing heel stuff for the face team.
That's what he was doing. And so Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, if you were watching, the subtle thing they were trying to hammer was that they're respecting each other, but they're disagreeing with each other, and they're each making bad decisions. I don't know how else to describe it. Daniel Bryan is in this mode now. Like, is this his gimmick where someone says something sarcastic to him and he makes it a match? Like, well, AJ Styles says 2 weeks ago, I should take on both of them. You're absolutely right. It's going to be a handicap match. Then Chad Gable says, what do we have to do? Beat the Usos twice? Absolutely. Best 2 out of 3. I don't know.
What do I
I'm
have to
getting
do?
too
Wrestle Stacy Keibler in a eggnog pool?
What do I got to do? Sleep with your wife? That's not a bad idea. The whole thing, too much Shane, too much Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, it's all one angle. So a few things about the show last night that I also want to say. Okay, so this can be fun because you know how I've been saying these Royal Rumble announcements are not exciting?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where I'm going with this?
You're going to talk about the Becky Lynch one?
Okay. There is something that is equally as bad, if not worse, than people announcing their Royal Rumble participation.
Okay.
Holy cow. I don't know why they're doing these promposal-like skits to announce who the partnerships are in the Mixed Match Challenge.
The Mixed Match Challenge, it's only going to be on Facebook anyways.
I am blown away by how lame these are. And it's just, it looks like, because promposal is a new thing, but there was a show on MTV called Promposal, and I've watched one episode of it. And it is like some dumb thing they would do on this show to ask a girl to prom. Where like they're trying to get
my partner. Oh, I'm so glad. I thought it was going to be Sami Zayn. I'm so glad it's going to be you.
I am not tickled by these at all. I don't think I care about Mixed Match Challenge, although I will give it it's an honest effort. That the level of excitement is the same as if they said, I'm in the Royal Rumble.
Well, the only one I enjoyed was the last night's with Natalya and Shinsuke Nakamura, because Natalya didn't know what was going on. And Shinsuke Nakamura just kind of shows up behind her and starts making orgasm faces. He's just like,
okay, so give me okay, so let's just say Natalya, or let's say you ask a girl to prom. Let's just say we'll say a Kelly to prom.
Yes, okay.
Can you think of the name of one of Kelly's ex-boyfriends?
Yeah, actually, the guy she dated for 2 years before me, his name was Jerry.
Okay, well, give me a different name. I don't even care if it's fake.
Eric is another one.
Okay, so imagine you ask Kelly to prom. It's high school.
Sure.
And Kelly says, oh my God, someone who's not Eric just asked me to prom. Yes, I will go to prom with you. It wasn't Eric who asked. It wasn't Eric who asked. Yes, I'll go to prom with you, Jerry. Okay, can you imagine this?
Right. Yeah. And I'm just sitting here thinking, oh, poor Eric.
So I just was like, what an interesting way to respond to that. Instead of just saying, oh, I'm so happy you asked, it was, oh, someone else didn't ask.
He never asked anyways. He's just sitting there licking the inside of his mouthpiece, making Shinsuke faces. At least Asuka's trying to get words out. He's not even trying.
I feel like that was enhanced greatly by your pain medicine today. That Shinsuke Nakamura impression.
Is he not making O faces? He's making O faces.
I suppose. And then there's one more. I gotta try to steal one of those for a default image. So there's one other thing that's been happening over the past 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, that I'm finding just mind-bendingly dumb. Did you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Your headphones were off, so I was surprised you could hear me.
I heard mind-numbingly dumb, and I was like, okay, we're talking about SmackDown still. We're good.
Who the F is going to online to watch the Fashion Police? Listen, don't get me wrong. I like the Fashion Police as much as the next guy. I have a consistent track record of being supportive of the Fashion Police, but in no world, after 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, am I going to your stupid website to watch the Fashion Police?
Right. And to that point, why in the world did they not let Rusev Day win? I mean, it's like they're like, look at this accidental team getting over. We better stop that from happening.
Which team, I'm sorry?
Rusev Day.
I feel like the Rusev thing is... What happened last night with that?
They lost to Breezango.
Okay, that's true. That is a pretty high-profile loss. I feel like Rusev is going to be okay. Aiden English, I'm not so sure about.
But I think this is great for both of them right now. I mean, they accidentally connected with the crowd, and WWE, instead of like capitalizing on it, they're just like, well, let's just keep burying them and see if it works.
Well, I will say this, though. That was kind of the theme of the week, especially when it comes to tag teams. Like I mentioned on the Raw episode yesterday, I didn't expect the Shield to lose to the Balor Club. I didn't expect, what was it? Titus Worldwide to beat the Bar.
That was a shock. That was a shock.
And likewise, and then you also had the Gable and Benjamin kind of winning last week, although it got reversed. And
I just go ahead, finish your thought.
Well, then
I'd like to go back to Gable and Benjamin.
This time you had the Bludgeon Brother. I'm sorry, the Fashion Police beating Rusev Day.
Yeah, odd decisions. You're right.
So perhaps showing their booking a little bit. What were you going to say?
Well, back to Gable and Benjamin. First of all, I think Chad Gable is a star, and I can see it and I can feel it.
Really?
All the belief that you have in Jason Jordan, I have for Gable and not Jordan. What's frustrating to me is here you've got Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, who are this close to being tag team champs and could be, and sort of won last week. And then you've got Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins, who are tag champs. Why in the hell did you take Jordan and Gable, who was an over tag team that everybody really loved and enjoyed, split them up to put them on different brands, just to put them in makeshift tag teams? Like, I still don't understand the splitting of American Alpha and the mishandling of American Alpha. Only to put them both in tags again.
Let me at least offer this. The plan when they split them up wasn't to at least put Jordan in a tag team. Jordan's in a tag team because Dean Ambrose got hurt. That wasn't the plan. The plan wasn't for him to be a tag team champion with Seth Rollins. That was happenstance. The Gable thing, I don't know how I feel about that, in that I like Gable, but I don't see a big WWE career for Gable. I like watching him wrestle. He's comfortable on the mic, although it kind of misses with me. And he doesn't seem like a WWE guy to me. So I'm worried about him.
He was hitting on the mic for me last night more than Benjamin was. I actually enjoyed when they were out there. And in a weird callback to my youth, 1987 type way, I'm enjoying the Bludgeon Brothers. But that's not going to last, and I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, well, you summed it up completely. It's just it's a warlord and barbarian kind of team. It's a demolition kind of thing. It's just that these are two big guys who do big guy things. And
but if you're going to get them over, are you really going to get them over by having them beat either Breezango or the Ascension 4 weeks in a row? 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah, they're just padding the stats right now. They'll move on to potentially bigger things or what have you. So the main event did nothing for me last night. I didn't care at all for it. Not that it was bad, just that I didn't watch it.
The only person more boring to me than Randy Orton right now on the SmackDown Live roster is Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, and I still want to like him so much. I know he's capable of doing big things, but he hasn't been delivering for me on the main roster, which we've spoken about before.
I absolutely love, and I give thumbs up and aces to Sami Zayn. I like over-the-top heel Sami Zayn. I enjoy it.
He's certainly carrying the ball they've thrown him.
He's doing a wonderful job, and Kevin Owens is doing exactly what Kevin Owens always does.
By the way,
I am a huge Kevin Owens fan. We know this.
For some reason, I had an epiphany moment last night watching this. And there's two things going on. One's with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, but I totally got the end game for Owens and Zayn last night. I know what their destination is.
Their destination is the reverse of what happened before. Like, is Sami Zayn going to turn on Owens?
The destination in whatever way is going to be WrestleMania and those two facing off, I feel like.
I'd be okay with it, but it's a complete and total copycat rehash of Jericho.
Correct, but it's the same but different. I mean, in the same sense, you could say every feud's the same.
Yeah, but you know what? If they have a festival of friendship, I'm never watching wrestling again.
Okay, sure, but I mean, in that respect, you could say that you could say Jericho was a ripoff of the Rockers, barbershop window.
But it didn't involve the same dudes. Like, this involves the same dude. It's Kevin Owens again.
Well, I mean, Triple H has turned on Shawn Michaels.
You kiss my butt. You just want to disagree. You just want to argue.
No, I just want to give you a different perspective from it.
I'm okay, but I'd be okay with that, and I'd be okay with that match. That sounds okay to me. I'm in on the Yep movement right now. I'm dying to know your revelation about where we're headed with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, because all of my, as Paul Heyman would say, all of my kvetching I'll take it all back if we get to Daniel Bryan actually paying us off with a match. But I don't think that's going to happen.
It's super simple. In fact, he's kind of been saying it in interviews on radio stations. I've been reading some of these, and I think he's being serious when he says this. He says he's getting clearance from doctor after doctor that he can wrestle, except for the WWE doctor. And he's saying if he's not clear by WrestleMania, he's going to leave and wrestle somewhere else. And I do believe that to be true. So in kind of a work shoot kind of way, he's going to feud with Shane. And it's either going to lead to Daniel wrestling Shane at WrestleMania, or including a somewhat full-time return to wrestling for Bryan, I feel like. Or it's going to lead to Daniel Shoot leaving and wrestling with Ring of Honor or New Japan or wherever he winds up, not WWE. And I get it.
If you could pick a return match for Daniel Bryan, would it be against Shane McMahon? Because I'd rather see him and The Miz go for it.
Well, yeah, but that would be a total 180 as to what they're doing now. Like
but not to what they did a year ago. Remember, The Miz and Daniel Bryan were all over each other.
Yeah, but you can, if you want to make that happen, you can build that back up. But right now, they're already cooking with Shane and Daniel. You don't stop that.
Right.
So that's what I think is going to happen there. And so I've got many Mania matches that I have in my head that I've already shared, with you. In fact, maybe our bonus episode could be Fantasy Booking Mania, what matches we think will happen there.
Well, and I already told you, I already fantasy booked and I wrote the end of Mania. So
what was your ending?
I can't. I'm not going to just give it away. What are you talking about? We're doing a whole episode. I'm not telling you the ending.
All right. Well then, yeah, because I might remember, but
What's the ending? He says. You want me to write it for you? You write your Mania and I'll write my Mania. But mine ends with the Bludgeon Brothers standing tall.
That's the Tylenol talking, I think, or the codeine. I have one more thing to get to. I want to remind everyone on the next episode, there will be a special announcement regarding the future of Post to Post. It will affect all of the regular listeners, viewers, whatever you fancy yourself as. Anything from SmackDown you want to mention?
Did you like Raw more than SmackDown? I do think I enjoyed SmackDown more than Raw.
I would give the week to Raw, but it's like, a 2 versus a 1. You
know what I'd like to, if we have time.
We have time.
Did you happen to see the Straight to the Source with Corey Graves and Enzo?
I want to. I haven't yet. Have you seen it?
I did. I watched it yesterday.
Good.
Have you watched any of the Straight to the Sources?
There's only been one other one to my knowledge.
There are 2. There's one with there's one with Roman Reigns and then one with Alexa Bliss.
Oh, okay. I've only seen Roman Reigns.
Okay. I like that show and I like that format and I think that it's good. This one was I thought pretty great. It's hard to tell. Part of me says Enzo is a jerk. But the other part of me says Enzo might be the only wrestler that can still pull off kayfabe. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe it's just the character Enzo never stopped for this interview.
Give me this as a tease for watching this, which I might be able to do this afternoon. Although I've got wedding stuff to do this afternoon, but
dude, it's 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes. Do it because it's fun. It's Kelly actually liked it from the perspective of because she was in the living room and it was on and she was like, "This guy's a motor mouth." She's like, "This guy, he's obnoxious. He never stops."
Tell me this: do you think how much of it is a work and how much of it is a shoot?
I can't tell where one ends and the other begins, which is what's pretty cool about it.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, yeah, I do want to watch that. Maybe I'll be able to talk about that with you tomorrow too.
And if the stuff about he and Cass is a shoot, that was the most interesting part to me because he seemed very real to me about that the he and Cass thing.
The only thing I know is that my understanding is since they're split, they don't talk so much anymore.
They don't talk at all anymore, and it's. You know, and it kind of addresses, and what makes it seem shooty is because it doesn't say, you know, when Cass turned on me and Cass hit me with the boot, we haven't talked since. No, it had nothing to do with the angle. It was after the injury of Cass. Enzo criticized him publicly for not finishing the match. And he was like, I lost respect for him when he wouldn't finish the match. All I do is finish matches. And then it cuts to Cass doing an interview where he says, I literally carried him up the stairs to our apartment after he hurt himself before. And I get hurt in a match with him and he turns his back on me, tells me what kind of person he is. And so like there's a lot of shoot elements to it. So I think you'll enjoy it.
The vibe I got, and again, I haven't watched it yet, is that Cass tolerated Enzo because he had to. And that in a time when no one really liked Enzo, Cass kind of got along with him because he had to.
They lived together, so I just assumed they had a deep friendship off screen.
Fair enough. I've lived with people I don't like before.
This is true, and me too, for sure.
So, okay, I had one last thing to get to, unless there's anything else wrestling related you wanted to hit on.
No, that's all. Go for it.
So, like I told you, I got a lot of wedding stuff to do this afternoon, and
God bless you, sir.
You know how? Well, you know.
You know, you guys are cooking pretty hard. Or I'm not asking for a date yet, but this is sooner than later, isn't it?
And we're looking at October of this year.
Oh, you know.
Well, you know. By the way, I don't want to veer off this, but Bruce Pritchard's going to be on Raw 25.
I can't wait, and I hope that place blows the roof off when he comes out.
That's going to be so great. They will. I know they will. They're going to be in New York. So.
Oh, they're gonna pop so hard for Pritchard. The WWE won't know what to do with themselves.
So there's still like a lot of stuff we got to do. Like we're checking out a venue today. We're finalizing, just some vendors and all over the coming days and everything. It's an exciting time. One of the nice things about when I proposed was I was able to, be around people that are close to me, family, friends. And, I was able to ask Justin, in person to be my best man.
Excellent.
I was able to talk to Brett in person and, he agreed to be one of my groomsmen. I asked John, to be a groomsman and he was able to. And, unfortunately, I wasn't able to see you over my trip home, but here on the podcast, I would like to ask you if you would like to join our Survivor Series team of groomsmen. And I'd be honored if you would be able to make it down for not just as an attendee to the wedding, but as someone who will walk that aisle with me, so to speak.
Woo.
Is that something you can do, or is that something you're not sure about?
This could be the drugs talking, but I'm getting a little teary-eyed. I'm absolutely honored to be asked, and there's no question I would walk to Evansville if I had to get there. Kelly and I had already said whatever the date is, whatever the year is, whatever the situation is, I will be there, and we will be there, and I would be thrilled to be able to represent your side of the Survivor Series team. And if I have to hit Brittany's side with a chair, I'll go ahead and do it.
They'll hit back, so be careful.
I won't mess around. No, I would absolutely love that. That would I'm so glad you guys thought of me to ask that. So of course,
Jared, in all honesty, I mean, I have 4 people I call my best friends, and it's you 4. And it was never a matter of which people do I want in my wedding party. In fact, I insisted, like, I need at least 4. I can't have less than 4 because I couldn't imagine doing this without you 4 guys there. So
I regret not answering with,
Well, you know.
Well, you know.
So
that's excellent. So yeah, of course.
Okay. That's
God, you're moving me. Look at us getting all emotional. You're making me emotional. I'm on drugs. Stop it.
I wanted to ask you yesterday, but I didn't have any video, and the audio was all screwy. So that's why I wanted to make sure today we had, good video, good audio. And so, yeah, I wanted to make sure that you knew that you were going to be right up there with me, if that was cool with you.
Absolutely. That's excellent. That's going to be such a wonderful day. That'll be fun.
I know you take a lot of time out of your busy day to do these podcasts with me. I know you don't treat it like a sacrifice, but I know that it is one. And I just wanted to thank you for doing those things. And I was hoping you would say that you'd be here.
Absolutely. And it's not a sacrifice. I'm excited for the announcement tomorrow when you tell me that your company is going to start paying me for this. This is excellent.
Well, let me.
That is not the announcement, by the way.
That is not the announcement. Jerry's right. But in the meantime, we can wrap things up here, and I'll play the music. The laptop's about to die here anyway. Thank you for being a part of Brittany and my day. Brittany, our day.
Thank you for wanting me to be a part of it. I love you, brother.
I love you too, man. Oh, I'm playing the audio, but it's not. There we go. For myself, we'll fantasy book WrestleMania tomorrow. How about that?
I'm going to win.
Okay. We'll see what happens. For myself and one of my groomsmen, Mr. Jerry Valeri, we thank you for watching Post to Post. We will catch you tomorrow right here, 1061evansville.com.